What's going on, everyone? We have an insane video today. We have a lot of things going on in the market and just the world right now. So in today's video, we're going to fill you guys in on all that good stuff and some awesome plays to end the week. But Tom, I have to start off by saying my dreams have come true. We are set to see a cage match style brawl between the billionaires, or I should say half lizard, half man, Mark Zuckerberg, and then the robot Elon Musk. It literally looks like we're about to see a cage match brawl in Vegas between these two billionaires. They've been beefing on social media lately, and the internet is going crazy.
Yeah, it really is, and I'm really honestly thinking that this is going to be one of the biggest fights in the history of fighting. I saw some crazy videos where even Dana White was talking about it. He said that both guys were serious about it, and that they even were asking, like, hey, is the other guy serious? And then Dana was like, yeah, of course, stuff like that. So it seems like that they're really talking about going into this, Mike, and I'll tell you what, I don't know who I'm going to pick, but sound off in the comments who you think's going to win this fight. There's so much interesting things about it. Obviously, Elon's a lot older, but he's taller, he weighs more, he has a higher net worth, and he has more children. So there's so many funny things there, Mike. I will say, though, I saw some pretty funny things here, especially from DraftKings, where they had the odds posted. Elon Musk plus 140, Mark Zuckerberg minus 160. For anybody who doesn't know, that means that they're actually picking Zuckerberg to win there. Now, it's actually fairly close whenever you look at these projected odds. Now, keep in mind, they said Zuckerberg, like I said, 12 years younger, took part in intensive challenges where he did 100 pull-ups, 200 press-ups, 300 squats before running another mile wearing a vest. So, I don't know, Mike. I think that poor Elon's going to get his face pummeled in. But then again, Elon said he just has his move called the walrus where he just likes to lay on top of his opponent and do nothing. So, I don't know. Maybe he'll just throw his weight around in there.
I cannot even believe that we're talking about this, and it actually seems like this might happen, and I am really praying that it does. This would be the most entertaining thing that I've seen in a long time. And I'll tell you, Tom, straight up, I think Zuckerberg has it locked in for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I would really think so. Now, they did say that obviously Elon dabbled in judo and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, but as we know, I mean, Zuckerberg's been training in this stuff for a while. We've seen tons of videos of him doing it and all of that stuff. With how fit he is, look at Elon right now. He's a big guy, don't get me wrong there, but I don't know. I can't see him just, I could see Zuckerberg coming in and give him the 1-2 Mayweather real quick and dropping Elon in the first round. I think that would probably be what happens, or some type of leg lock. I know he's really big into jiu-jitsu. And Mike, I know you're even big into jiu-jitsu. I saw a picture on your Instagram last night.
Oh yeah, you know that. If you guys aren't already following me on Instagram, follow me. It is mdantonio3. I'll put a picture on the screen right now. But yeah, follow me on Instagram and let us know in the comments right now who you have winning this fight. I know Elon has more companies than Zuckerberg. He has more children and he has a higher net worth, but let us know what you think in the comments down below. But Tom, enough of this cage fight stuff. The market was pretty good today. It held up in a nice way. It was a little bit bearish in the beginning of the day, but it held up just fine. And it's a decent end of the week so far.
Yeah, it is. Looking at my watch list here, we had DraftKings up 2%. Amazon was up 4%. I know that was one of the bigger movers today. We had all those big tech stocks really running back. Even if we look at Tesla, they had a great day as well. Let's see that percentage, 1.98. Nothing too crazy, but definitely good from open there. A lot of recoveries. A lot of these stocks were down a lot in pre-market. So to see them come up was a very good sign. And we go look at all these big tech stocks all the time, and one of the most talked about ones is Nvidia. And me and you have been watching it. It's stuck in a huge range up here. There's a big support right around 422. We can see that. That's been a pretty big low recently. There's a big resistance right around 434 to 440. So if we start to maybe move out of this one way or the other, we might start to see some bigger movement. And I'm starting to guess, Mike, that we're going to finally see some pullbacks starting to happen. I mean, man, look at all these insiders selling millions of dollars worth of Nvidia. I don't blame them, Mike. If I owned $45 million of Nvidia, I'd be selling it up here at the top too.
Tom, I have to do a slight correction on you. It's actually over the $100 million mark, believe it or not, with this insider selling. It is insane. So like over like the past couple of weeks, insiders have just been dumping Nvidia shares like the stock is about to crater. Obviously the stock has been on an amazing run, and obviously it has, you know, a lot of potential as a company, but it's like the stock is just up so much. And, you know, I really don't blame these insiders for selling, and I'm sure I'm sure they're looking for, you know, a new yacht or a new house too.
Man, Mike, I don't know how early some of these guys got in or how low their average price is on some of these shares, but I would say with some of the explosions right now, I'm with you. Like, they're probably out there partying, getting some yachts, investment opportunities in the housing market. Man, there's like all types of stuff that they could be doing right now, and those shares are really high. You know, we've been talking about it for a long time, but let's look at it like low to high again. Big percentage, all the way up like 300% now from the low to the high with this recent touch around 440. So it's something else, Mike. And I will say, you know, I go to the book map today. We can actually see that there's a ton of selling pressure overhead. Like, man, there's a bunch of sellers that were lined up today around 450, and that is going to be a big level overhead. Nvidia has never even been to 450, but look at those orders up there. Maybe that's more insiders stacked up with shares there. You know, we don't know who it is, but there's a lot of shares overhead. Be very careful. We started to see some selling pressure earlier in the week. It's still in this big channel here. And I really think, Mike, you know, that if we start to break this big support here around 422 to 420, we'll start to fall down in a big way. But as we know, this stock just seems to never stop lately.
Right. And then, Tom, I hate to, you know, load on the bearish news right now, but believe it or not, short sellers are betting more than $1 trillion against U.S. stocks right now, and it is just crazy. So basically, total U.S. short interest exceeded $1 trillion as of last Friday, and some of the most shorted stocks dollar amount wise are, you guessed it, Nvidia, and then Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. So just be aware of that, guys. You know, we are seeing some insiders selling, and then, you know, the shorts are looking a little bit scary right now.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget what the Feds have been projecting, Mike. I feel like a lot of people keep forgetting this, but what have they been saying? Towards the end of the year, we're going to go into a mild recession. If that happens, the markets will probably get hit a little bit. And with the way stocks are up so high right now, like if we go to Apple on a daily, it's starting to blow my mind here. Yes, they're the big dog, but I don't know. I feel like with the current market conditions, if we start to get into some more trouble later in the year, we can start to see, you know, the markets dip down more. And I think that we're seeing that even if we go look at VIX. You know, we talked about it yesterday, or a couple days ago at least. There was a lot of call buying on VIX, like the most in a certain amount of years recently, and I don't blame them. Like, look at the VIX getting super low here. And if we look at the VIX seasonally, Mike, man, look at how towards the end of the year, whenever we get to August, September, October, November, VIX generally uptrends there, and this red line is showing VIX right now. And man, I'll tell you what, if we start to get an uptrend like that again, some of these stocks like UVXY and things that follow VIX are going to do very, very well.
And for those of you who don't know, when VIX goes up, that means something bad is happening in the world or the market. So like we could see in the red line, just like Tom said, you know, we're pretty low right now, but on average, as we get towards like the tail end of the year, VIX does tend to rise, and that is not a good thing. So it's just like another thing to keep in the back of your mind as we have stocks so high right now. We have short interest over $1 trillion, and we have insiders dumping some of the craziest tech stocks over the past year. So I guess what I'm saying is maybe be a little bit careful over the next couple weeks and months. Hedges are not a bad thing, and, you know, just protect yourself.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Mike, I might hedge my happiness and place some bets on Elon versus versus Zucky Boy there, because, man, the market's not looking too good here. Well, it's looking great right now, but it's getting to the point where I think we need to start, you know, looking to take some profits on longer-term positions on, you know, like Nvidia, stuff like that, etc., and then, you know, maybe look to get in at some lower levels. And those lower levels will come with great opportunities. And, you know, guys, like, even though we keep talking about the market falling and sometimes it sounds like doom and gloom, you know, we're going to have tons of plays to the downside that are going to do great, whether it's on Nvidia, AMD. I mean, man, look at AMD recently, Mike. This thing's been amazing to play to the downside.
I would say there's more opportunity when stocks fall than when they're rising, because when they're falling, a lot of times, like if you guys think the calls go up a lot when these stocks are up a couple percent, wait till you see what the puts do when the stocks are down. A lot of times they pop so much more than the calls because implied volatility rises up a lot more as well. And then on top of that, when stocks fall, you can double dip on the opportunity and then, buy the stocks at, low prices like, Nvidia a couple months ago back in the 200s or even 300s and, really bank when they eventually come back up. So tons of opportunity all across the market. And, even if we don't see a dip, Tom, we can just keep riding this bullish momentum for weeks or months.
Exactly. You can keep day trading, keep getting in on that short-term momentum. Like there's a great resistance right now on Nvidia overhead. This would be a great level to watch for tomorrow. There's been like 3 or 4 hits there right around this 434.50 area. Like we talked about at the beginning of the video, big support down here around 422. If we get under that, I think there's great opportunity. So, we're always going to be finding plays, guys. Smash that subscribe button. That's what it's all about. And I know a lot of people might have had some trouble with the chop lately, but just stick with it, guys. You guys will get through it, and as we start to get some more trends happening, that'll make the plays even better.
There we go. Well, Tom, it's now time for some setups for tomorrow, and with the first one, I have Beyond Meat. Good old fake meat company. So actually one of the bots called this one out to the upside today, and it didn't really do too much. It was more of like a failed breakout than anything else. But there's actually been some good news in like the fake meat industry as of the past couple days, as we talked about in yesterday's video. And this one has definitely a lot of potential for a short squeeze as well. So I'm going to keep this one close on watch to the upside for tomorrow and next week. It's one of those risky stocks, but like when it moves, it really, really moves.
Yeah, it does. Like this thing can move with some power, and it's been low for a long time. So I'm with you, Mike. I'll keep it on the radar as well. And I know that good news yesterday definitely will help us out on this one. And man, I know these AI stocks just keep going crazy. So I wanted to mention Google here. The thing that I like about this one is it's not necessarily like up right at resistance right now. Now it is running into areas of resistance, but that recent high is up around like 129, 130. So I really like it that we're at like 123.30, 123.50. If we break out of this level tomorrow, I'll watch for a nice push up to 124.50, which I think could be a great target to the upside for a stock like this if the momentum continues. But these tech stocks are getting so high. We're going to have to see if that momentum keeps up, Mike. But, like I keep saying, don't go against it. Just keep trading it up until the trend starts to change.
There we go. With the next one, I have Amazon, and this one is to the upside. So Amazon really stood out today among the other big tech stocks. I do know that they have some hype related to like their Prime Day coming up, which, it's decent news. It's not like market changing or anything like that. But I'll tell you, Amazon has a lot more strength right now, especially when you compare it to, like some of these other big tech stocks. And, it's really moving with some momentum. So it has a lot of like power to it right now. And I am looking for a potential continuation to the upside with this one.
Yeah, that was a great move today. I mean, to see them explode the way that they did was fantastic. And that intraday chart just looks amazing. I mean, to see them breaking out the way they are is something else. They're just continuing just like the other big movers, except today they really, outperformed, like you said. Man, I'm really going to be watching Snapchat as well. I know this stock was kind of like Amazon in the way it moved up. 4% there at the end of the day. It just kept running up. Look at after hours. Really continuing, and it's running up into a recent high right around 1080. So if we can break 1083, 1084, I'll be watching this one for a continuation. I noticed they had that big move like Amazon, like 4%, and I know Snapchat's a stock that, they can have some pretty big moves of their own as well, and it's another one of those stocks that's been down in the dumps lately, so hopefully we can get a good break here.
Sounds good. Well, Tom, it is now time for those momentum plays. And with the first one, we have old reliable Apple to the upside.
An apple a day keeps the margin calls away. Go ahead and make it break out above 187.50.
I love that. All right. So, yeah, you guys heard Tom. We have Apple to the upside for tomorrow. But we actually have JP Morgan also, but this one is to the downside.
Yeah, that was a rough move by the banks. Powell definitely did not help them the past couple days. That's for sure. Go ahead and make them break under 139. I'm pretty happy to see them under 140 from yesterday.
All right, and then with the last one, Tom, we have a stock that you never talk about, and that's AMD. We need both directions.
Yeah, never. Okay, let's go ahead and make them break under 109.50. That's going to be a big area. They really flirted around this 110 target today. We were talking about it in Discord. They finally got it at the end of the day. If they do end up rising and they pop back above 112, then maybe look at calls. But I'm really leaning down again, Mike. Like this 110, 109.50 area is going to be crucial tomorrow.
Tom talks about AMD a lot. When the second he goes to the chart, you could already see like 5 or 6 support and resistance lines already lined up.
Exactly. There's just so many. And, how can you not, especially the past couple days with this price action? It's been beautiful off to the downside there.
True that. So either way, keep a close eye on AMD tomorrow. We have the upside level for a potential call play. We have the downside level for potential put play. Don't forget about JP Morgan also for that potential downside play. And for puts, if it breaks below that support level. And then Apple for a call play if it breaks above that resistance. But it is now time for the big money $2 million trade of the day. And we are looking at AMGN. Someone dumped basically $2 million into the AMGN 245 strike call options that expire on August 18th of 2023. And AMGN is a biotech stock. And it is like a giant company, and they move to the upside pretty consistently over long periods of time. And right now the stock's lingering right around 230, and these call options are at the 245 strike, which is a little bit far out of the money for my taste. But if you don't really know how options work, assuming that the big money is longing these calls, this is essentially a $2 million bet that AMGN stock has a lot of room to the upside from right now until you could say the middle to the end of August. So I think the play's decent. It's not necessarily like my favorite setup in the world, but I'm definitely not against it.
Yeah, it's not my favorite either. It is one of those scarier companies to me, given that they're very persuaded by news. Obviously that causes a lot of movement with the stock and stuff like that. So I'm really going to watch AMGN, though. I think it's interesting. It's a little bit too far out of the money for my liking. I normally like them when the strikes are a little closer. But I will say the daily chart is definitely striking me in a good way here. We're going on a nice uptrend. It's been stair-stepping continuously here to the upside. And just today, it had that very nice green candle. If we get another one tomorrow, that'll signify that this stair-step is actually really working. So watch for that break of 232. Maybe that could be a good entry point if we see a break there. But I love this pattern, Mike, and I'm glad it's starting to finally uptrend again. I just don't like that strike being so far away. Honestly, I'd probably go with a closer strike if I was to play it.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, if you guys are into short-term trading and to trade options, check this out. In the first link in the description, in the comments down below, you can find access to our premium chat where basically you get access to a bunch of awesome tools for options traders. We have 2 bots that call it a bunch of day trades all the time. We have a bunch of other awesome tools and resources that show you the top options, for example, with SM Bot that are moving the most for the day. Looking at the bot stats channel from today, the SM Bot had, well, you could see some of the top plays of the day, like this FedEx call that moved up by 228%, this Amazon call that moved up by 164%, and there's a bunch of great plays from today. On top of that, you'll get access to multi-million-dollar hedge fund trades every single day before the market closes, among many other, I guess you could say, resources, tools, and good things that are working for on your side for options trading. So check it out. It's that first link in the description in the comments down below. You can cancel at any time, and it's awesome. So definitely check it out. But Tom, I am pretty excited for tomorrow. Of course, we have a lot of craziness going on in the market and the world right now, but I think the end of this week's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it seems like the SPY is really trying to come up off that little dip that we had this week. We finally had some pullbacks coming in this week. A little bit of pullback, but it looks like we're going to end the week strong here. So let's see some breakouts tomorrow. Let's see some good continuations. And there were plenty of day trades today. Just to recap real quick, like Google, Snapchat, Beyond Meat, TLT. Like, man, some of these stocks are looking great for the next couple days. I know you talked about TLT yesterday, but man, I've been actually eyeing that one up a little bit more as well. Gonna be looking to maybe pick this one up for the longer term as it falls a little bit. So I've been loving some of these stocks lately, Mike. Let's keep up the day trades, and that's really, I think, what's been working lately with all these stocks up around highs.
You know it. And if you guys, for some reason, are not subscribed to the Stocked Up YouTube channel, you are missing out. Make sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll see our videos recommended to you more often, because how else are you going to stay up to date on the drama between the billionaires, all the crazy stuff we have going on in the stock market, and everything else we have going on in the world. So make sure you're subscribed. Besides that, guys, let's have an amazing end to the week.